This is the journey to One Africa.
Hey family, this is Mika. Welcome back to SNOA. If you're new to this family, subscribe, like, turn on notification button, help us to reach 500,000 subscribers. But also feel free to support us through the links in the description. Guys, there's link for membership, links for Patreon, PayPal, super chat, super sticker, super thanks, and we really appreciate you guys. We have the latest on Somaliland and Egypt. The news says that Somaliland shuts down Egyptian Cultural Library. The latest development regarding Somaliland and Egyptian Cultural Library involves the Somaliland government's decision to permanently close this institution in its capital, Hargeisa. This action was announced due to what Somaliland described as serious security concern. Following this decision, all staff of the library were given 72 hours notice to leave the country. This move comes after amidst heightened geopolitical tension in the region, particularly highlighting by geopolitical context. The closure is seen in the context of a broader region dynamics, especially the controversial agreement between Somaliland and Ethiopia, where Ethiopia aims to gain access to the Red Sea through Somaliland in exchange for recognizing Somaliland's independence. A move that has not been well received by Somalia and has led to international concern. The second, Egypt's military involvement. Egypt increasing military presence in Somalia through a recent defense deal has raised alarm in Ethiopia and Somaliland, fearing it could lead a proxy war or further destabilizing in the Horn of Africa. This deal is a part of Egypt's broader strategy, potentially linked to its long-standing issue with Ethiopia. Over the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. A Somaliland strategic move. The closure of the Egyptian Cultural Library might be interpreted as a strategic move by Somaliland to assert its sovereignty and security interests, especially in light of its strategic alignment with Ethiopia. This action could be seen as a response to Egypt's growing influence in Somalia, which Somaliland perceives as a threat to its security and political aspirations. Public sentiment and reaction. This situation underscores the complex interplay of national sovereignty, international recognition, and regional power dynamic in the Horn of Africa, with a cultural institution like Egyptian Library becoming pawn in a larger strategic games. All right, guys, that's the update on Somaliland and Egypt. You know, I did not think that things will start going to this direction, but it's clear whose side is everybody. It's clear the side of Egypt and Somalia, and the side of Somaliland and Ethiopia. So it's clear right now that so Somaliland as well have chosen their side. And guys, we don't talk about this enough, that, you know, if let me say this again, if Somaliland is part of Somalia and Somalia have a deal with Egypt of a military and they send the troops and everything, that means Egypt are there to protect not only Somalia but also Somaliland, because Somaliland is a part of Somalia. But Somaliland action on burning and closing the Egyptian library in Somaliland, it is a message that Somaliland, they are portraying or saying that, you know what, we might not be recognized as a country, independent country, but we're not with you. So the problem, and I've always been saying this, the issue is not between Somalia and any other country out there. The issue is between Somalia and Somaliland. If Somalia and Somaliland cannot figure out the things together and show their stand or be together, then any other country that is going to be involved in this union is gonna be a collateral damage. Basically what I mean is, so perhaps, this is just my analysis, perhaps Somalia, you have frustration on Somaliland, or Somaliland, you have frustration on Somalia. Actually, that's how it seems, that Somalia, it has frustration on Somaliland, the things that are not clear. Therefore, whatever whatever other countries that are going to do with Somaliland, that country will be the enemy of Somalia. And on the other hand, Somaliland, has tension with Somalia. So whatever country that is going to join hands with Somalia, then Somaliland, they're going to withdraw themselves. So this is not something that, and I don't understand when people they attack me when I'm talking about this. This is the reality of what is happening between these two countries. I mean, if I say two countries again, it's a trouble. Okay, it's not yet recognized. Okay, this is the situation that is happening between these two regions. This is the issue. And we're not ready to talk about the truth of what is happening. We're not ready to talk about that. Because for some reason, it's wrong to talk the truth. No, it's not wrong to talk the truth. We need to speak the truth so that we can find a solution. So now, Somalia has a deal with Egypt. And at the same time, Somaliland is kicking away Egypt. It's closing down the Egyptian library in Somaliland. What does that say? Now, this is the truth that we're not ready to talk about it. But we have to stop. And we have to realize that we are in a season, or we are in a time where we cannot force someone to be part of us if they don't. Okay, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, you cannot force them to be part of ECOWAS if they don't want to be. Okay, there were countries, I forgot the names, that they did not want to be part of African Union time in the past. You cannot force them to be part of it if they don't want to. You can't force any other country in Africa who don't want to be part of Africa. If they don't want to, if they say, we don't want to be part of Africa, you can't force them. You can simply just tell them, you know what, get out of our continent then and be somewhere else, another continent, if you don't want to be part of this continent. So you can't force, because when you force, these are the reaction you get. And to be honest, guys, that means Somaliland also goes out to other countries out there to seek some deals, to seek some connection, to find some partnership. So when they go out there and find this partnership, what is it gonna be the response from Somalia? So we have to be clear, and I think we need to address this issue, and it has to be clear. Is this the same country, or these are two different countries? It has to be clear. Because the issue that is happening right now in the corner of the tension between Somalia and Ethiopia, and now Egypt is involved, it seems like it's about to have a little bit of Cold War happening right now. We started with words, and we don't know how long it's gonna last until the next threat or the next person who is gonna start to shoot or whatever. We don't know when it's gonna start, but the simple solution to the conflict and this situation that is happening is simply recognize that is these two different countries or one country. We need to answer that question. So let me ask you, Somalia, Somalilanders, Ethiopians, and everybody who is watching in African, is Somaliland and Somalia a one country or two different countries? And why is that? Let us answer that question first. Let us answer that question first. We don't like to talk about it, but we have to talk about it, because if we are going to answer that question, if you're going to find the answer to that question, then this situation is resolved. But if we cannot answer that question, this tension are going to continue to be there. So, I want you guys to understand. I want Somalia to understand. I want everybody African to understand that as much as I advocate for one Africa, I really want to have one Africa. I'm not here to push the agenda of division for my own personal gain. It will benefit me nothing. I'm here to push the agenda of one Africa. But also, I am very realistic. That I'll say this over and over and over again. One Africa is very necessary and is very important. But everybody has to agree. And not by force, everybody has to have a reason to agree. We have to give them a reason to agree why one Africa is very important and why we must have one Africa right now. In the case of Somalia and Somaliland, you can't force the unity that is not there. I would say the same thing to any other parts in Africa. I would say the same thing.
You can force it. A lot of people, they attack me. They say that, okay, why don't you talk about Tanzania? And they even make a mistake. They say Tanzania and Zanzibar. There's no Tanzania and Zanzibar, guys. There is no Tanzania and Zanzibar. There is Tanganyika and Zanzibar. When you mention Tanzania, Tanzania is one country. Tanzania is the combination of Tanganyika and Zanzibar. These two names, they were connected and you get Tanzania. So when you mention Tanzania, you mention Zanzibar already. If you want to mention separate two or different countries, you can say Zanzibar and you can say Tanganyika. So just from that, I don't understand. When you say Tanzania and Zanzibar, I don't understand what you're talking about. It's not there. First of all, study and know the union. This is the Republic, United Republic of Tanzania. United Republic of Tanzania. That is the name of Tanzania. Not only Tanzania, but the name of the country is the United Republic of Tanzania. That is the connection between two separate countries before, Tanganyika and Zanzibar. And now it's the United Republic of Tanzania. So everything, whenever you see the word Tanzania, you see Zanzibar and Tanganyika. Let this be clear. And you guys who are raising this point, just you don't know what you're talking about. And you say, and I see some comments that say, oh, look at what Tanzania, you do to Zanzibar. Tanzania is Zanzibar already. Zanzibar is within Tanzania. And do you know that the current president of Tanzania, she's actually from Zanzibar? Do you know that? Do you know that? And she's not a president of Tanganyika. No, she is president of Tanzania. That means Tanganyika and Zanzibar combined. So you can't compare the case of Somaliland and Somalia and Tanganyika and Zanzibar. You cannot. It's two different things. That is not the United Republic of Somalia. No. This is the United Republic of Tanzania. You have to understand that if you want to raise that point. And I know a lot of people are raising that point to, I don't know where they get it. I don't know. Know the history of Tanzania first. Know the history of this place first. I'm sharing with you because I've had these multiple talks with people from the Somalia region and people from the Somaliland region. I've had it. Go on the live stream. You will see when you talk about Horn of Africa, we had a multiple discussion about these cases. So I talk about something I know and I'm aware of. Yes, I might not know 100% like you all, but I know to some extent, and I'm still learning about this. That's why I come here to share with you guys this news confidently. So my agenda here is not to divide the country. My agenda here is give us one answer. Why there's 2-3 different answers? If you come to this region of Tanzania, people, they'll tell you the same thing, that this is Tanzania. They'll tell you that. They'll tell you that, and I'll tell you the same thing. And so in the case of Somalia and Somaliland, help me out, guys, with one answer. Are these two different countries, two separate countries, or one country? And why is that? Why is that? I just want to know that. And once I know that, it's done. In the case of Tanzania, Tanganyika, and Zanzibar, for those who do not know, as a matter of fact, I feel like even not telling you, but I'm just sharing this for you guys to understand. Yes, Zanzibar has their own president. But the president of Zanzibar, basically, if you look at the rank of the leadership in Tanzania, the first president there is Tanzania president, who right now is Samia Hassan Suluhu. That is the first president of Tanzania. That means the combination of Tanganyika and Zanzibar. After her, the second person in power is the vice president. After that, the third person in power is a prime minister. After that, you have the speaker of the house. Mind you that even in Zanzibar you have speaker of the house, but that the house in Zanzibar is actually working under the house of Tanzania, which is in Dodoma, in the capital city. So even some of the members from that house, they're here in Dodoma in the house. So basically, when you see the ranking, If today we don't have, you remember that the ex-president actually died. When he died, then the next president who hold the power for Tanzania, who is holding the power right now, is Mama Samia, who is holding the power. Actually, she has authority here in the Tanganyika and also in the Zanzibar. So there is nothing that will be done out of the constitution. And the constitution of Tanzania is the Mama constitution. Yes, Zanzibar, they have their own thing that they're running, but they cannot run anything without breaking the law of this constitution of Tanzania in general. So do you understand how this is working? And it has to be done that because Zanzibar had to be given that authority and power as well to maintain the unity of this country, to have the unity. Because these were two different regions before in the past. And they knew that, okay, we need one another. There's a lot of things we share in common. There's a lot of things that Zanzibar take from Tanzania, electricity and all those stuff. Okay, why don't we create a union that will work for both of us? Nyerere thought about it, sat down with Karume, and they did that. Is this a perfect union? No, it's not perfect union. There's no perfect union on earth. But are we constantly in trouble? Or no, we don't have that. Is there something that we need to work on? Definitely, there's a lot of things to be working on this union because we're not there yet. But it is good. So at least I can give you the answers to this union, what is happening. If you want to know more in details, don't just find the gossip news. Go and read the history and understand how it happened and how it's going on right now. So I want to hear the answers, because if we get those answers, then we can build this case. Right now, Somaliland is kicking away Egypt. And we're asking ourselves, does he has power to kick away Egypt? Does he has power? If Somaliland is under Somalia and part of the Somalia, why is he doing that? Then there's an issue between Somalia and Somaliland, which we don't want to address. Somali people, let's address that first, because otherwise we're going to be attacking countries that are joining power with Somaliland or Somalia simply because we want them to be on our side while you yourself, you're not on the same side. So what is the answer? Maybe we can start there and building our point. Let me know in the comment section, guys. I would love to hear your story, because I'm here to learn, and I know you're there as well, listening and learning, and we'll get to the bottom of this. Anyways, guys, I love you and thank you for standing there. One Africa in our generation. Love you, Africa.